Tonight on Q2, walking out over wages.
We're just hoping to get some better pay to be able to live.
Employees at a Billings lumber company are now on strike as they look to push towards a deal. Plus, storming the shop.
You know, you just sit there and watch your property get gone, and there's really nothing you can do.
Auto businesses working overtime as Monday's hailstorm continues to be felt by residents. And a wedding day disaster.
Somebody came through and destroyed all their decorations.
A Montana couple's special day begins in horror, only to turn up roses. The MTN 10 o'clock news starts right now.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 10 o'clock news.
Good evening and thanks for joining us on this Wednesday night. I'm David J. We'll get to those stories in a minute, but first, a hike turned violent near Red Lodge, and now deputies are searching for a suspect. It all started on Sunday at the popular Basin Lake Trail, beginning with a dispute over off-leash dogs that spiraled into an assault with rocks thrown and a walking stick used as a weapon. Q2's Hannah Pettiferi is following the case and has the latest.
In the water.
Melissa Cole is an avid hiker.
Had a goal to go hiking once a week in the Beartooth Absaroka Mountains.
Since learning about what happened on the Basin Lakes Trail, she's become more vigilant.
I carry a backpack, and I always have bear spray. I have a first aid kit. I have extra clothing and food and water.
Ready for whatever may happen.
Usually we prepare for wild animals and not other humans.
This all stems back to Sunday, when law enforcement says a woman was assaulted by another woman on the trail.
This female eventually reported this incident to law enforcement.
What started as a normal hike for the victim quickly turned scary after she was assaulted by the alleged aggressor.
At that point, it escalated from a verbal altercation to an actual physical altercation. We have had incidents before, but it's not common.
Sheriff Josh McQuillan said it started with an argument about dogs being off-leash and quickly escalated from there.
During that time, some personal defense spray was deployed, rocks were thrown, and then a walking stick was used by the female that had been running to try to strike the other female.
The Carbon County Sheriff's Department is asking the public for help in identifying a woman who was hiking here at Basin Lakes Trail Sunday morning.
We know that there were other people up there that day.
While Melissa wasn't there on Sunday, she says knowing about it has made her think even more about being considerate out on the trails.
When you're hiking with dogs, you have to be really careful and keep them on the leash and be considerate of other people and their dogs also.
In Red Lodge, Hannah Pettiferi, MTN News.
Anyone who may know the woman or has information into the incidents is asked to call the Carbon County Sheriff's Office. And tonight we're learning new details about a deadly officer-involved shooting in Cody. Police say the suspect charged officers with a knife, forcing them to open fire. It started Monday night when an officer tried to pull over 22-year-old Lucas Alvesteffer, originally from Michigan. He took off, leading police on a chase that ended in his car breaking down. Police say Alvesteffer refused commands, pulled a knife, and charged after officers, prompting the shooting. He had 2 active warrants, including 1 for domestic battery. The officer is now on paid leave as the investigation continues. The remains of an Army private from Great Falls who was captured and died as a prisoner during World War II has now been identified. 22-year-old Leonard R.J. Jackson was a member of Battery L of the 60th Coast Artillery Corps. He was captured by the Japanese during the surrender at Bataan Peninsula in April of 1942. Prison camp and historic records show Jackson died on October 31st, 1942, and was buried in a common grave in the camp cemetery. Following the war, remains at the camp were exhumed, relocated, and buried in Manila as unknowns. In 2019, the remains were exhumed again, and in December of 2024, they were identified using scientific and circumstantial evidence. Since Jackson's remains have been positively identified, he will now be buried in Arlington National Cemetery. Chants, signs, and a growing picket line outside Boise Cascade in Billings. Workers are on strike, demanding better pay and health care after contract talks broke down. The walkout has stalled operations and sparked a tense standoff. Q2's Matt Carmack takes us to the picket line with more on what workers want.
Honk for a living wage, on strike for competitive wages, and Boise Cascade pay your workers. Just a few signs seen from this group of employees on strike.
We work out in the elements, the heat, the rain, the snow. We don't get days off for, a bad snow day.
This group of 20 employees at Boise Cascade are on strike. It's a Billings lumber manufacturing and production company located on South 29th Street West.
My stomach's in knots, I've been here 23 years. I've given my all to this company.
Striking on Wednesday was Zeb Plavonik, who's been with Boise Cascade since 2002.
It was good. It seems like management and corporate have kind of changed some things up, and it doesn't seem like we're getting treated as good as we used to.
Employees with the Teamsters Union are seeking an increased wage and a change in health insurance.
They told us yesterday they felt the terms that they were offering were reasonable, but our members are saying it's not.
Every few years, the union renegotiates a contract with the company. Since April, the union and company have been trying to make an agreement. Tuesday night, those requests weren't met for a third time, and employees walked out.
This was a choice that the members made. They have to vote as a group whether or not to go on strike, and they voted unanimously yes.
Boise Cascade employees on strike say they'll be out here for as long as it takes until the company and the union can reach a negotiation agreement.
As long as my legs can go.
In a statement to MTN, a representative with the company disagrees with some of those employees' claims, saying, quote, although an unexpected walkout has occurred at our Billings facility after we were led to believe we had a tentative agreement with the union, we remain committed to open and constructive dialogue with union leadership. Our top priority is ensuring the safety of everyone on site. But Teamsters Union Principal Officer Jim Sumas says otherwise.
We would like to have a meaningful conversation. That's what negotiations is all about. And at this point, the stance they took yesterday was unacceptable.
The employees have been on strike since 7 p.m. Tuesday. Until negotiations are reached, the strike could go on for an undetermined amount of time. In Billings, Matt Carmack, MTN News.
Fire crews are attacking a wildland fire from the ground and the air inside Yellowstone National Park today. The ash fire, which started in the Beckler area, located in the southwest corner of the park, has burned more than 10 acres at the moment. 25 firefighters immediately responded to the fire, including helicopters and smoke jumpers. There are currently closures to trail and backcountry campsites in the affected area. Crews believe the fire was ignited by lightning, and the park has received more than 350 strikes in the last 24 hours. Park-wide fire danger is considered high right now, meaning flames can spark and spread easily. With the first look at the weather on this Wednesday night, here's Chief Meteorologist Ed McIntosh. Ed?
Let's take a quick look at how the weather shaped up for us today with the Stockman Bank weather cam. 11 degrees cooler than average, even though the morning temperatures were right pretty close to the 30-year average. 78 today. The winds were a little breezy at times. Notice we're down to now 8:45 by the time the sun is setting as the days get a little shorter. And temperatures statewide, again, Missoula was the warm spot at 92. A lot of 70s across the eastern plains. As far as precipitation, as we expected, kind of hugged the Montana-Wyoming state line. It brought a few areas where we saw some isolated flooding. And we did pick up a bit of wind across a widespread area today as well. The rest of the forecast details coming up in a few minutes.
A little quieter today, but it was a different story 2 days ago as baseball-sized hail totaled cars and left roofs in ruins. 48 hours later, residents across Billings continue to pick up the pieces after Monday night's powerful storms. That includes Andy McClellan, who was forced to sit and watch as his property got destroyed. He suffered damage to 2 vehicles on top of a shattered window on his trailer. McClellan has now taken his vehicles to Critelli Glass in downtown Billings to get fixed, but it simply adds to the whole stress of the whole situation.
All across the windshield, lost both my headlights, both my tail lights. The hail actually went through the top of my mirrors here. What is this going to cost me? What's the bill going to cost? A lot of us out here, don't have homeowners insurance.
As for the auto shops, many say they are extremely busy right now, but ready to serve the community during this time. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Montana has given the Montana Historical Society $50,000 to help launch a free field trip program. The program, which is slated to start next year, aims to bring students from across the state to Helena to visit the Capitol and the new Montana Heritage Center. The money can be used by schools to cover both transportation and lodging. Applications will be accepted on an ongoing basis with 2 deadlines. The first round of applications will be accepted until October 13th, with the second wave of funding being open until January 4th of next year.